Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters. Pokemon Masters Day is upon us tomorrow as the time of uploading this. And we're going to be asking ourselves, should you summon for Lance and Dragonite? Any other day, any other time, the answer would be a clear-cut no. But there's a little bit of I'm still going to recommend you not summon, I'll just say it outright. But there's a little bit of a reason to why it's not such an easy answer. Because of that. That's a big old grid. Yeah, that grid is huge. But Lance has gotten his grid expansion for Pokemon Masters Day as of the time of his banner dropping. And he is crazy. He is absolutely insane. Like, look at everything. Like, if you look at Hyper Beam here, you have nodes. You have damage nodes. You got a Furious Brain node, which gives you a damage buff on Hyper Beam, which is already insane, right? And you only need 2 out of 5 for it. You only need 2 copies of Lance in order to get this Furious Brain node here. Then you're getting attack plus 20 and special attack plus 20 just for having Lance, just straight up in general. This is insane. Like, you get an extra 20 damage. Look at his already base special attack at level 140, 5 stars, no EX. 451 attack, 450 special attack. What? He's strong. And boom, 2 out of 5. 2 sync nodes. And Furious Brain. Not to mention, you also got Sharp Entry 1 to buff your crit. You got Hyper Beam Move Gauge Refresh. You got Revenge Boost, which is not really that great, but still, you got it. You got another Special Attack plus 20 node. Do you know how strong that makes this guy? Stupidly strong. Lance is absolutely insane with this power buff. It's so hard to say no to summoning for him, because like, look at everything he has. At 2 out of 5, he gets a Furious Brain and 2 Sync Nodes. At 3 out of 5, he gets, now listen to me now, another 4 Sync Nodes. You can't get all of them. You can't, unless you're specifically going for just the Sync Nodes. But then you also get Haymaker. What? What made them think this was legal? I'm curious. What makes them think that this was, like, allowed, right? Like, insane, dude. Like, what the fuck? I'm having a fucking panic attack even thinking about it. Like, Lance is so strong now just because of all of this. Like, look at this. You're able to get 5 of his sync nodes and Haymaker and Furious Brain at 3 out of 5. You're able to, which means nearly a full sync nuke and full DPS. What? Why is this legal? And then he's got Critical Eye. He gets Critical Eye. He's able to buff his own crit by himself. Lance's grid not only adds extra power in Haymaker and Furious Brain, but it gives him self-sustainability. He's able to get... Hold on, let me just remove all of this, other than these. You're able to get Critical Eye here, which is able to buff your crit for you. You're able to get Sharp Entry, which is faster crit buffing, right? So, that's a 2 out of 5, or 3 out of 5, right? You're able to get that stuff. So, there's that. But then if you go to 4 out of 5, you're able to get these abilities here, which are Damage Guard and Initial Injury Recovery, which makes it so as soon as you use this trainer move, which drops you to below half, you're able to heal it up with these abilities. But that's not that great. But listen to me now. 5 out of 5. Injured for Initial Injured Ferocity. You're able to buff your attack and special attack to 6. Lance at 5 out of 5 is a completely sustainable unit that does not need any support in order to function. All he needs is Dragon Zone and maybe some gauge support. That is it. That is all Lance ever needs at all if you have him 5 out of 5 and have him gridded with Critical Eye and Initial Injured Ferocity. That's a lot. That says a lot. Like, you can bring him into the Legendary Gauntlet and he can straight up just start pumping out Hyper Beams like it ain't shit. Like, that is a lot to, like, consider when going for, like, a unit. Let me look here. So, go for that. If you want to go for the grid here, let's see what all you can pick up, really. You can pick up that. Yeah, you can still pick up 3 sync nodes, which is still a lot. That is still a lot of damage there. It's not your peak damage, but it's still a lot. You're able to pick up 3 sync nodes, Haymaker, Furious Brain, Critical Eye, and Initial Injured Ferocity. He is extremely self-sufficient and extremely strong. He hits the same level of damage as Zygarde and Serena at 3 out of 5. That is insane. That is insane from just a straight-up Pokefair unit, no Master Fair, just a Pokefair unit, with 2% rates to pull 10% 5-star rates, just straight out the bag, and he's not paired with any units, so again, just flat out 2% featured rate right there. That's insane. The reason I say you should not pull for him, though, is because look at everything else out right now. Look at the triple feature Pokefair Scout A here. It's got Lance on the banner, which it does end on Masters Day, I think, or is it the 27th? When the fuck does this banner end? I think it's either Masters Day or it's the 27th. I don't know. I think they might be up at the same time. I could be wrong about that, though. But if you want Lance, you also have the chance in this banner to pull Iris and Cynthia. But the caveat is that you have a 0.5% lower chance of pulling Lance, which that's not that great, but still, you still have that chance to pull Lance as well as 2 other solid, good units. And then look at everything else we got here. We got the triple rerun for Raihan, Red, and Lucas. Lucas is a unit that you want to run with Lance, too. Like, if you don't have Dragon Zone, Lance is still stupidly strong, but Lucas turns him into stupid nuclear bomb levels of damage. I can't convey points, man. I can't convey how strong Lance becomes. But, like, you shouldn't summon for him because you do have these rerun banners here and the Master Fairs. There's a lot of other banners that have a lot of value to pull for. But I will say that if you want a strong unit and you're willing to get Lance to bare minimum like 2 or 3 out of 5, then I would probably say you could summon for him because he is extremely valuable in terms of just damage, just raw damage. Damage dealers exist all the time. They really do. They float out all the time. So you don't really need to summon for damage dealers all that much because there's going to be another one next month that's going to be just as strong, if not stronger, whatever, right? I mean, like, yes, look at Signasuit Steven. He released during the Hoenn arc and was one of the best units in the game, or he was the best unit in the game. And then they released Ash and Signasuit Red and all of them during the anniversary. Signasuit Steven obviously is still really strong and whatnot, right? But look, even before that, you had Zygarde and Serena release, and then before that, you had Signasuit Lusamine. Like, all of these units, high damage dealers, and they all release pretty, like, consistently, right? Like, this month we had Champion Marnie, and the month before, we had Signasuit Lysander. All of which, these units are still really strong and still hit really hard. Lance is in that same tier. Higher tier, but still the same tier. So, like, if you just want a straight-up damage dealer, you can obviously skip Lance because there's going to be a ton of opportunities for damage dealers later, or you can just summon for Marnie, who has a less chance of rerunning, whereas Lance will very likely end up being in, like, the Lodge banner. Think about that. Lance will probably end up being in, like, the Lodge banner, so you can definitely get dupes with him that way, too, like copies and whatnot. Whereas with these Master Fairs, it'll take a long time for them to rerun, probably at least, like, 1.5 to 2 years. So, if you want them now, pick them up now, or else you're probably not going to be getting them for a long time. That's overall, like, why I don't think you should summon for Lance, but if you do really think, if you're, like, summoning for, like, meta reasons or, like, strength purposes, and you already have, like, I don't know, Champion Marnie, you have, like, Lucas or whatever else, and you have everybody else for this month, Lance is definitely very, very worth it to summon for. He's extremely strong, does a lot of stuff. A lot of people that are older, like, in the game, probably already have Lance, but for those who don't, and you just want kind of like a really, really strong unit, Lance is definitely worth going for. Couldn't tell you if it'd be better to go for Lance on the triple Pokefair feature banner up there, or if it's better to go for him on this Pokefair banner that's dropping tomorrow. I'm actually recording this on the 22nd, so it's really weird saying these dates, but whatever. Yeah, Lance, very, very strong. Very, 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 very strong. I can't say anything but strong. He can be self-sufficient if you get into 5 out of 5. He's just straight up. He does need some good supports in order to max out his nuke and all those type of abilities at 3 out of 5. Like, you want somebody who can buff both offenses and crit, which Giovanni's a really good one. Giovanni and Persian. If you get the NPR on their trainer move, you can actually set up Lance completely in 4 turns, which is pretty good. Pretty damn good. And it's worth it to wait for that extra turn in order to get fully maxed out stats, because Lance is hitting like a goddamn motherfucking truck. So, yeah, that sync move will probably just one-shot any enemy you face for the most part. But yeah, overall, Lance, very, very strong, but he does have the higher potential of rerunning in the future compared to other units, and these other Master Fairs don't. They just straight up don't. That's why I really say you should probably not summon, but if you do already have them and whatnot, and you want to have something to spend for one, wait for the data mine. Definitely recommend that first. Hell, maybe the data mine's out by the time I'm uploading this. I don't know why it would be, but maybe. Who knows? But wait for the data mine, and then if nothing interests you next month, Lance is definitely very, very strong, very, very valuable unit to summon for there. He can be. So, yeah, I think I'm going to conclude it there. This video is kind of all over the place in terms of like recommending people to summon for Lance, but it's really hard to say no to somebody for a unit this strong simply due to like what is out right now. Like that is the big thing with a lot of these units. Like Ball Guy is good, Marnie, Hop, and Beat are good, but then you got to consider all of these units are out at the same time, and you don't have enough gems. Like, think about it. It's really difficult to think about. Like, right? Really. You have to just kind of make your own decisions on what you want. Like, I'd say the Master Fairs are definitely the most valuable pickups, like Hop, Marnie, and Bead for sure, just because of how good they are and how less likely they are to rerun in the future than all these other Pokefair units and whatnot, right? That's the big reason I say do not summon for Lance, but yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm going to conclude it there. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you're going to be summoning for Lance down in the comments below. I already have one copy of Lance. I'm probably going to do some dailies. Hope I can get an extra copy, and then I'll be willing to can do a 3 out of 5, but whatever. I'm going to end it there, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you later.